Yet another way to put what I'm saying is that I think a virus or bacteria or mold came down from the atmosphere that needs man to go out of his mind in order for it to get out of man's mind. And this is what all the cults really give us evidence of. If they are, as the moderate adherents would like to think, all just very moderate ways of distributing charity, love, and intelligence of the highest possible order, even if also, to a large degree, they function as ways that they, this mold can try to get man to go out of his mind in order for it to get out of man's mind. Isn't that fascinating? And all of this sort of emphasis on space, this, getting out, people being busy, like bats trying to find the hole they got into, right? And they never find it, and they keep digging themselves further in. And it's amazing, isn't it? This is a bit of an anodyne. And then you get someone like me who doesn't work, who sits back and just notices how busy everyone are, that their minds never really seem to settle into the position. If your mind's not working at the pace and in the way it's supposed to, right? And you no matter what you do for a living, you kind of have to, by definition, you're not working the way you were if you didn't have to work for money, right? By definition. Nobody works the way they would for money the way they would work if they didn't need it. I don't mean to impute all kinds of evil on that. I'm just sort of recognizing the contrast, right? And the stresses, and then reasonable risks, and then also the risks of can you take yourself out of it? Can you take yourself out of that mode of life when you need to? Even if it seems like you're doing it too late. Retire, take yourself out. I mean, people have great levels of bounce back in all kinds of ways, but it's just, can you do it completely? Can you take yourself off out of the drug trip of civil labor, of industrial labor? Because it's really quite involved. You hear people talking about their money and this, and I thought, fuck, man, that is complicated shit you're doing with your life and your money. Complicated shit. I never learned about any of it, just like I never learned about all the characters of Star Trek. That you move your fantasy credits around in your fantasy institutes, that you fantasize work on your behalf. Just, it's great. And the faith, I hope the faith pays off and it's good. But in a sense, as much as you could show me that the faith definitely pays off, I could show you that it never did. And therein they lay the rub. I think there's a bacteria that needs people to go out of their minds so it can get out of our minds. It wants us to believe in moon landings because it wants us to get out of our mind and be out of our mind, and then find a way out of the prison we find ourselves in when we leave our mind behind. Just like it left its natural environment behind when it invaded our mind, and it wants to get back to heaven from which it fell. Think about it. Makes a lot of sense. Maybe to me anyway.